What up, YouTube? I recently came across these Adidas adiFOM kicks, and they're so weird I couldn't resist checking them out. So today I'm going to give you a deep dive into these all-foam superstars and try to make some sense out of it. Okay, let's get started. I remember seeing a white pair of these and a black pair dropping back in 2022. I didn't go for them because I just wasn't interested at the time, but after learning more about them, I was curious to get them in hand. So when I recently saw this Simpsons pair drop for $90 US, I decided to check them out. Before we dive into these kicks, I'll quickly tell you what I know about adiFOM. So from what I know, it's made up of a material called EVA, that stands for Ethelyne-vinyl acetate. But Adidas says it's made of renewable and recyclable materials, including sugarcane. Okay, that's great if it's true, and I hope it is, but I'm curious, who's actually following up on these claims, and what percent of recyclable material and sugarcane is actually in them? Is it 0.01% or is it 80%? People want to know this stuff. Is Adidas really being socially responsible, or is this just a marketing trick? Anyway, it started with the adiFOM Q that dropped in 2022. They also dropped the TRXN, the adiFOM Boots, and the Supernovas. The adiFOM Q in particular saw a lot of controversy because Adidas claims it was inspired by the Adidas Quake, and I can see some similarities, but come on. This is clearly a ripoff of the Yeezy foam runner. Plus, it coincidentally came out right around the time they split with Kanye. A lot of people felt this way, and whether you like Kanye or not, this is clearly taken from his design language. If you're still not convinced, check out these Adidas Adilet-22 slides. They are basically a remastered, pixel-style version of the Yeezy slides. Just some food for thought. Now let's look all around these kicks and try them on foot. But before I do, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It would really help a lot. Thank you. Starting with the box, it's a large draw-style Simpsons themed box. It's printed to look like their old school TV, and it has Adidas and Simpson co-branding on the screen. If you look at the side, they even included the rabbit ears antenna from the show, which is pretty cool. It's debossed in certain areas and has a bunch of glossy spot UV hits. On the bottom, you have the 20th television logo and Matt Groening. He's the guy who created The Simpsons all the way back in 1987. Some of you might not know, but The Simpsons started as an animated short that was part of the Tracy Ullman variety show. They didn't get their own show till 2 years later in 1989. Anyway, it's a nice box with some cool details. They even included some Adidas Simpsons co-branded tissue paper. Pulling the kicks out, at first glance, they are super chunky, and there's no doubt they were inspired by the classic superstars. It's like if a foam runner and a superstar had a baby, this is what you would get. The uppers have these spines running from the top down to the toe. I always liked that look on the OG superstars, but for this pair they evolved and exaggerated it a lot, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. You can also see these small ridge lines all over the shoe. It has an almost 3D printed pixel style similar to the Adilet-22 slides. This pixelated texture is different, but I don't hate it. I think it would look much worse if it was just all smooth foam, so it gives it some character. You also have the 3 large Adidas stripes on both sides. It's hard to tell on camera, but these stripes are not just painted on. They're actually raised off the shoe. These are obviously the Simpsons themed pair, so they're meant to look like the opening sequence of the show. If you look on the medial side of the shoe, you will see 2 fairly large holes. This is the only ventilation they offer, so I'm curious how these will perform in the hotter summer months. One thing that's cool, I believe they use the exact colors from the show on these kicks. If you look here, the label says Pantone, white, and Pantone, so I can only guess that represents the blue and yellow on the shoe. That's kind of cool, I think. Working your way to the back, you could see more of that pixelated ripple look and where it all kind of meets. You can see the same effect on the front also. Moving up the heel tab, you'll see the Adidas trefoil logo in that Pantone yellow. Working your way to the chunky midsole, you'll see a line where the 2 large pieces of foam were bonded together. Moving to the outsole, it's clear these were inspired by the original superstars. Looking inside, I was surprised to see that these actually have an insole, and I was not expecting that. As you can see, it's yellow with Adidas, Simpsons, and Matt Groening branding. It looks nice, and hopefully it will add a little extra comfort. Let's try these on foot and find out. Okay, slipping these on is super easy, but unlike, say, a pair of Crocs, they feel pretty secure on foot and not like they're going to fall off or anything. The first thing I noticed is the foam used to make these is much stiffer than the foam on foam runners. That's a good and a bad thing. On the plus side, these are practically impossible to crease, which I love. Check it out. But on the negative side, this stiff foam kind of rubs against the upper part of my foot. Perhaps it will soften up after a few wears, but if I would like to wear these barefoot in the summer, I imagine it would cause a lot of chafing on the top of my foot. That said, this stiff foam works pretty good as an outsole. It's firm, but also has some smush to it. And yes, the insole helps. Regarding size, I'm usually between a size 10 and 9 depending on the kicks. These look so big online, I opted for the 9, and I think it works, but I probably would have been more comfortable going up half a size. If you plan on buying these, I would recommend trying them before you buy them if possible. Overall, I understand why Adidas made these. For the past decade, people have been gravitating more and more towards super minimalist, foam-injected footwear like Crocs, Yeezys, and even the Mischief Big Red Boot, to name a few. They're all basically one solid piece, no stitching, no leather, no laces, so to make an all-foam pair of one of the most iconic sneakers makes sense on paper. I just don't think the public response was what they were hoping for, because I think I'm the only person who likes these. I wonder if these exact same kicks dropped under the Yeezy brand, would people be loose off them? In conclusion, I don't love or hate these. I think they're an interesting pair of kicks that literally look like a cartoon. I'm going to hold these down and keep them as indoor-outdoor slippers and maybe beach kicks. I'm a fan of The Simpsons, I'm a fan of Superstars, and I'm a fan of foam runners. Don't get me wrong, these are definitely weirdo shoes and they're very polarizing, but sometimes weirdo shoes can be fun. That's my video on the Adidas adiFOM Superstars in the Simpsons colorway. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click that like and please subscribe to stay up to date on my latest videos. You can also catch me on TikTok and Instagram at E21Life. I don't post a lot, but I tend to add random content there. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay safe everyone. Peace.
She said that she hate me, I hate me too. I can always tell when you're lying, girl, you're see-through. All these miles away, yeah, I just wanna see you. Baby, give me good face, she hit me like seafood. Remember when I saw you, hi, it's nice to meet you. Know my old girl salty, she just wanna be you. I'm a dog, no Maltese, I don't wanna leave you. Once you're